First at 9 starts with First Alert Weather.
Welcome in to this digital edition of First at 9. I'm Brittany Dion. It has, of course, been a roller coaster of a week for weather. Let's begin with First Alert. Meteorologist Tania Michelle tracking this for us. And Tania, how is it looking out there right now?
Hey, listen, Brittany, we had showers and even a few storms earlier this evening, but things have cleared up just in time for the Theo Von concert happening literally at this moment. Mercedes-Benz Amphitheater out in Tuscaloosa County. You can see all the people sitting out there. Hopefully, if you're out there or heading out there, you have a sweater or jacket because it is a little chilly. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Dew points are low. Winds are finally beginning to settle down, but there's still a slight breeze out there. Looking at the rest of the hour-by-hour forecast for that concert, if you're out in Tuscaloosa, expect temperatures closer to the end of it to drop into the lower 50s. If it goes until midnight, temperatures at the end of the concert will be just around 51 degrees. But here we are looking at current temps area-wide. We're mainly in the 50s for all of central Alabama. 50 degrees in Coleman, 56 again in Tuscaloosa, 52 in St. Clair, 54 in Calhoun County. Let's take a quick look at those winds. Still seeing that northerly wind, that cold air. It's going to be a chilly start to your early Saturday, but those wind gusts have settled down. We're only seeing wind gusts right now closer to about 10, so it's not super breezy. As far as what's next, this is what you can expect. We have some chilly weekend mornings, some patchy frost possible. We'll talk about wind, and then we're warming up heading into early next week. We'll be breaking down those warmer afternoon highs that you can expect. More weather in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Tania. Well, new tonight, as National Crime Victims' Rights Week comes to a close, the grief many central Alabama families are feeling from losing their loved ones lingers. And tonight, your reporter Brady Talbert looking into how just a few seconds of your time can make a world of difference in these unsolved cases. Brady.
Yeah, that's right, Brittany. Family and friends know nothing can bring their loved ones back. However, justice could give them a bit of closure. However, that justice often comes when people open their mouths and speak about it and don't remain silent.
Oh, it's a very emotional week. It brings back the whatever the case is that their loss. It brings it right back to it was like it was yesterday.
Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama not only sympathetic for heartbroken families, but they're also trying to give some closure. You can scroll their website and see the faces of victims no longer with us, each one with a family waiting for answers.
There has to be accountability. All this violent crime that we see across the nation, around our community, that someone has to be held accountable.
Accountability that sometimes immediately follows a crime. A swift arrest because someone spoke up and called Crime Stoppers. Other times, it takes years before investigators finally get the final piece of the puzzle they've been after.
Occasionally, we will run a cold case and someone will speak up. And that has happened and said, well, listen, here's what I've heard. This is what I know. Here's who you need to be talking to.
Here's the thing. Sometimes it can feel intimidating to pick up the phone. Bob Kopis with Crime Stoppers knows a lot of people are afraid of retribution. That's why they accept information anonymously. They never see your face or ask for your name. A little relief that makes the process less daunting.
It's time, if there's been something on your heart that you've been wanting to say, maybe for 10, 15 years, go ahead and call Crime Stoppers now, and let's get this over to law enforcement.
Crime Stoppers does not want you to be afraid to speak up. And if you don't even want them to hear your voice, you can also send them anonymous tips through their website through anonymous messaging. Your reporter in Birmingham, I'm Brady Talbert, WBRC 6 News. On your side.
Thanks, Brady. We have new information tonight on the deadly shooting in Birmingham last night. Police now tell us they believe the victim's apartment was targeted. The coroner identifying that victim as 27-year-old Latarius Franklin. Police found him shot to death inside a unit at an apartment on 29th Avenue North. Officers were also called to that same complex Wednesday night for a shooting. Investigators are trying to piece together whether these two incidents are connected. Well, covering Talladega County, where farmers are rebuilding after a devastating fire destroyed thousands of dollars of produce and equipment at Ireland Farms in Alpine. You may have purchased some of their produce right here in Birmingham at Pepper Place Market. Your reporter Julian Brooks has more details on the aftermath of that fire.
Started this year with such optimism and confidence, like this is going to be our year.
But just over 3 months in, it will be a tough battle ahead for the farmers at Ireland Farms.
The age-old, like, the phoenix will rise from the ashes. It's like, that's a little, you know, it's a little too optimistic for where we are right now.
Monday morning, Scott Ireland got a call from Talladega County Sheriff saying there was a significant event at the farm. When Scott arrived, he found 3 inches of flooding and his barn in ashes.
And so our guess is that much water short-circuited something, you know, adjacent to something flammable.
The barn was the heart of Ireland Farms. Gone now are thousands of dollars of produce, walk-in coolers, a year's supply of fertilizer, and the list goes on.
You know, weed whackers, power drills, zero-turn mower, golf cart for harvesting carts, you know, so many harvest tubs.
Work at the farm has gone back to the basics. Ireland has had to cancel his restaurant orders because there is nowhere to package the produce, but he has a summer of markets ahead of him.
Part of what makes being a farmer, you know, market farmer, it's what's so great about it is the personal connection you make with your consumers. You know, it's, you know, after this many years, they're not just customers, they're friends, it's family.
That was Jillian Brooks reporting. Scott Ireland says the community has supported the farm in many ways since this fire, including a GoFundMe that he says is enough to make a grown man cry. Definitely thinking of them. Well, covering Chilton County tonight, we have new pictures of vandalism on the Maplesville walking trail. Look at this. This is on Shanks Drive. Officers say they are looking at security cameras and working to identify who is responsible and get them arrested. If you have any information, call police. Well, the owners of the Mountain Brook toy store says his customers aren't feeling the impact of increased tariffs on products from China right now, but he is. George Jones, the owner of Snoozy's Place toy store, says he's already started placing orders for the holiday season, and he's getting notices that the price previously agreed upon will be going up anywhere from 10 to 25% more. He says eventually the higher costs are going to get passed along to his customers.
We can't absorb it. The government doesn't help us absorb it. Other things like that are not happening. It goes to the consumer, and that's what I don't think the powers that be that I keep referring to really are drinking that and realize that that's what's going on.
Now he is asking people to consider shopping at small businesses during this time. New tonight, just days after President Trump signed an executive order to ramp up coal production, the Secretary of the Interior in Alabama visiting a coal company, Doug Burgum, visited Warrior Met Coal in Tuscaloosa County. The executive order directly impacts Warrior because without mining or on federal land, they would lose out on hundreds of thousands of tons of coal that would go to waste.
Met coal has got all the characteristics to be essential for us for steel making. And as you know, President Trump bringing back the steel industry in the U.S., putting tariffs on those that might be dumping steel into the U.S. The product that's made right here, that's harvested right here, mined right here, is essential.
Last year, coal production generated 15% of U.S. energy, down from 50% in 2001. More jobs coming to East Alabama with a business expansion in Anniston. Tyler Union and parent company McWane Incorporated announcing a $25 million foundry expansion. The expansion is expected to add 15 to 25 more jobs to that area. Tyler Union makes products for waterworks. The company tells us one of the highlights of the new foundry is the world's largest 3D sand printer for producing sand molds. In other news happening tomorrow, your first opportunity to get a closer look at Alabama Crimson Tide football team. Golden Flake A-Day will be at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. It starts at noon. Admission is free. And Auburn fans, your first look at Coach Hugh Freeze's year 3. That team, it's coming tomorrow. A-Day kicks off at noon inside Jordan Hare Stadium, and practice is open to the public. And yes, admission is free. Well, some Jefferson County High School football players getting a unique mentoring opportunity featuring some NFL players. Pro players in town for the AG Golf fundraising tournament, taking a break from the course to speak with students at a luncheon today. A chance to share life lessons and inspire the next generation.
You know, I was once in their shoes, so I'm just trying to pass it forward. I didn't have people like me, people like my people on the platform up there to speak about certain things that I might have to deal with on the journey to being a professional athlete. So I'm here just passing it forward.
A lot of people up there are speaking good to us and telling us what we need to do to succeed or to possibly be in their position as well. So I think going into it, we got to come in and listen. Don't take what they telling us for granted and use it so we can be better players and better people as well.
Wise words. Well, the tournament raises big money for the A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls Club, helping fund youth programs across all Jefferson County.
Time for weather every 6 minutes. Let's walk through that super 7-day forecast. If you have plans over the next 24 hours, the only thing that you can expect is just a chilly start to the morning. The afternoon tomorrow will not be bad at all. Highs there in the mid 60s, plenty of sunshine, but notice early tomorrow morning, this model is turning a lot colder. I don't think we'll get down to as near as cold as 34 degrees in Anniston, but I do think some 40s will be possible and more than likely in the low 40s than anything. As we bring in Saturday afternoon, temperatures at that point I think will start to warm up into about the 60s, and we'll see highs in the mid 60s later into your Saturday afternoon. By the time we reach your evening, it will be chilly. Temperatures will be dropping really quickly. Heading into your early Sunday, expect the chance for some frost to occur. Sunday morning is when we could see more of those mid to upper 30s for farther north central Alabama. We're talking about 35 Etowah, Cherokee County there, 37 in Marion County. More of those mid to upper 30s and lower 40s further south. We're talking about 40 degrees in Tuscaloosa, 38 in Chilton County, 40 degrees in Coosa County. So again, a chilly start, but Sunday afternoon actually looks like the warmer day of the weekend. If you have plans Sunday afternoon, you don't need to wear those heavy layers all day. We're talking about mid 70s, plenty of sunshine. What happens is winds will start to come out of the south, and that's all that warm, moist air coming from the Gulf, really heating us up for your afternoon hours. Now, Monday looks even warmer, but notice not as cold for the early morning either, so that looks good. 53 degrees early Monday morning, and we bring in the afternoon with highs reaching back into the low 80s. So if you've been missing the summer-like weather, well, it is coming back, and it's coming back pretty quick. So early next week is when you can expect it to feel a little bit warmer. Sunny skies will continue to be around, maybe a passing cloud, maybe that morning that you want that extra large iced coffee to get you out the door and to get you extra energy, but also keep you cool. We bring in Tuesday, maybe seeing a passing shower, still going to hold that 20% chance. Rain chances don't look very impressive at all. I mean, here we are 7 a.m. Tuesday. Looks like a passing shower mainly north of I-20 on and along I-59 and maybe for the northern half of I-65 there heading up to North Alabama. But otherwise looking dry heading into Wednesday and even Thursday of next week. It looks like Thursday we heat back up, temperatures in the 70s, but keep in mind as that little front moves through, early Wednesday could be pretty chilly there with temperatures back down into the low 40s. Looking a little bit milder heading into early Friday morning of next week with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Not too bad. As of right now, hey, we're not going to jinx it. No severe weather is expected as of right now over the next 7 days. We'll, of course, keep you up to date if things change. But this is another full look at that super 7-day forecast. It doesn't look too shabby. You will want a sweater and jacket heading out the door early tomorrow morning. Brittany?
Not too bad at all, Tania. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us here on this digital edition of First at 9. I'll see you there on TV for the news at 10 right after the Stallions game right here on WBRC.